15 times. It doesn't cost anything. It's free. There's no monthly charge. Well, I guess there is a monthly charge. But you would be surprised what's going on just in your own home and in your own neighborhood that doesn't have to cost you a lot, if anything, to be able to work out. So you don't have to join an expensive gym or get expensive equipment. It just doesn't have to happen. So great question. Okay, other questions on some of the things that we covered? Go ahead, Chris.
Admin work. I mean, are we doing that before?
So the question is admin work. If you'll notice that I gave you, before each appointment, and I was 4 appointments I set up for the week, I gave you an additional hour of work time. We think we need to do more admin than we're doing. I'm telling you, if you're going on 4 appointments a week, and you're using the transaction coordinator, and you're using the short sale coordinators, and you're getting, and you're here's what's real important. When I say to you that the day starts the night before, I'm also going to say something similar to that. It's the clients you choose. You know, there's crazy maker clients, and then there's regular clients. You choose them. The reason that you're allowing the crazy maker clients into your life, which is making your life nuts, and you're having to run up and down and having extra paperwork and run for documents, et cetera, is because you're not prospecting enough. You're not pulling in the good leads. You're not filtering them through. Does this make sense?
Yes.
It's all, time management is not just laying out your calendar, although hugely important. It's also partially what you do the night before. It's also partially what clients you're working with. It's also if you preview property, if you saw 25 houses a week, just in general, think about what I'm going to say. If you saw 25 houses a week previewing, that's 100 a month. In 6 months, you'll have seen 600 houses, and a client comes up to you and they say, I'm interested in this in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house with a tile roof on a cul-de-sac. Is there a decent chance you might know of some?
Yeah.
Right? So you don't even have to go look at the computer. I got 2 in Laverne, I got 2 in Pomona, I got 1 over here in Walnut. What do you want to see first? I don't even have to go spend the time to look at it because I've been looking. You're not doing the right things on a regular basis. Think about that. Okay, other questions? Good stuff.
Yeah, I don't see where my lead follow-up with that.
Wow, thank you. Great question. So, the question is, where do I do lead follow-up in here? So write this down. Prospecting, you should be calling in this order. Past client and sphere first. Expired listings, old expireds, and for sale by owners next. Just listed and just sold next. And you sprinkle in the occasional lead follow-up. So, how many leads do you have? How many leads do you really need to sell 40 houses a year? 40 great ones, right? Well, okay, so maybe you don't have 40, but maybe you're working with how many people, good quality leads, if you're working with buyers only, how many of those can you handle at any one time? How many? Patty? She's eating. How many? 5. Anyone else? 3, 5. That's all. That's all you can handle. You think you need 48 of them. You can't handle 48 of them. Sound like that guy in that movie, right? You can't handle the truth. Here's the bottom line. The bottom line is we think we need all these leads that we're doing all this follow-up on, okay? If you ask the right questions, we think we have a lead. So we've talked about this before. So what's the, I'm kind of digressing a little bit, but this is part of it. We think we have a lead. Client says we go door knock, and the client, or the person answering the phone or the door says, yeah, I'm thinking about selling. We get excited. Oh my gosh, I got a lead, okay? So when do you want to sell? Well, I don't know, I'm just thinking about it. So all of a sudden, we think we have this great lead, and we're getting ready to get all the information to follow it up. We don't ask any more really good questions because we're excited about the lead we have. Yet, if you asked a couple more questions, you could say, so let me ask you something. When you sell this house, where are you going next? Well, we were thinking about going to Omaha. Wow, Omaha, that's great. What's going to take you to Omaha? Well, that's where we're moving when we retire. Wow, fantastic. I'm getting excited, right? I got this Omaha lead and they're getting retired. Fantastic. So I could leave and I could follow up on these people, but I ask another question. So who's retiring, you or your husband? Well, I'm already retired. Well, so your husband's retiring. Yeah. So when's he retiring? About 6 years. Now you laugh. You have those leads. You have those leads, and you're following up on those leads right now. Right now, you've got this stack of leads, and you're following them up. 4 or 5 good leads. When you ask the right question, you'll find out you really don't have a lead. And if you do have a lead, then what I want you to do is I want you to put it on a yellow pad of paper. Okay? You take a yellow pad of paper and you don't fold it over, ever. On the yellow pad of paper, you write down the name and the phone number of the lead and maybe a slight note or something on this yellow pad of paper. Here's what happens. We forget about our hot leads because they're either buried in our computer or they're on an index card or something somewhere, or we don't follow up on it because we left it at the office or we left it in the car, or who knows where it is, right? Say yes. Yes. So we don't follow up on it. However, if it's on this yellow pad of paper with the name and phone number, this yellow pad of paper sits next to you at all times. When you're prospecting, it's next to you. It's right there. I'm going to pick up the phone, and while I'm prospecting, I'm going to follow up with that person at 9 in the morning. I didn't get in touch with them. Okay, no problem. I keep doing my prospecting. At 3 in the afternoon, it's right here. I'm out driving to an appointment. It's right next to me in the car. I call them up. I try to set an appointment. I try to get in touch with them. Couldn't get in touch with them. I'm on my way home because it's still next to me in the car. I call them from the car. Bingo. I got a hold of them. We talked about us getting together for an appointment. I want to know, is Thursday or Friday better for you? Was 3 or 3:15? That's what you have to do your lead follow-up. Okay? Not specific times all the time, ladies and gentlemen. Prospecting is lead generating. Follow-up is appointment setting. You're not following up enough. You're not following up enough because the good leads are buried in all the crummy leads, and you don't have it in front of you at all times. Then I'll give you a little secret. This sheet never comes off the front page. It's always the front page when you're driving, calling, etc. This sheet will fill up. So what you do then is you copy the phone numbers and the people's name onto the next sheet, which is clear. You tear off this sheet, and then you take the sheet with all the phone numbers that have been on top that are scratched off, and you put them into a folder called Leads in the top drawer of your file cabinet. You never throw it away. It's always there, just stacking up. Because sometime you may need a phone number that's on here, and you know you can just go pull it out, look through a few sheets, and boom, it's right in front of you. Does that make sense?
Yep.
This is a simple business. We're trying to make a big crazy thing out of it. Questions? Go ahead.
What if an appointment cancels? Do we
Okay, great.
follow up on deals, or do we just go back to prospecting?
Great question. So we've created, in this example, 4 appointment times for you, okay? And the question is, if the appointment cancels, what do we do? All appointment default goes to prospect. If you have no appointment, you don't go home. You don't go home. You were supposed to be in a money-making activity, and that money-making activity canceled. No problem, stuff happens. So you go into a prospecting mode. Prospecting mode could be door knocking. Maybe you're very close to where the property was. So you go into a door knocking mode. You take your leads that are on the top sheet that have been sitting with you in the car, and you park aside of the road because maybe that's where you found out about it, and you call all those leads trying to set another appointment, or you just do some more phone calling or door knocking, whatever it is, or previewing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good question. Sir?
If I get off schedule, what do I do?
Oh,
some reason.
great question. So, it's Thursday. You're all excited because you're going to go out on the door knocking, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to door knock with the group.
Yeah.
It's exciting. You planned it the night before. You know where you're going. Everything's all lined out.
Beautiful.
You go down, get into your car. You've worked out. You're dressed nicely. Whoa, you're rocking, right? You get into the car, and it goes click. I didn't hear that right. Click. Car doesn't start. Battery's dead. Happens, right? Okay. So what you do, no control of ours, out of our control. So what you do is you don't try to make up the door knocking. You go when you can to the next appointment on the list. Okay? And you just get into the routine. See, here's the problem. On average, we have 240 work days in the year. And remember what I talked about originally? It's all about consistency. Because if you really did work the 240 and you did this, would you have a pretty amazing year?
Yes.
Okay. I actually think, I believe, to my core, that if you do this over 240-ish days, that there's not one of you that can't do a minimum of 2 closings a month, and probably 4, and some of you could probably do 6. This is all going to be then predicated on you as an individual and how good you are, how fast you get it, etc., whether you keep complacency out of it. But if you did this, and you are focused on this program for the next 12 months, 240 work days, minimum 2 closings, probably 4, could be 6. Because I guarantee you, if you showed this to Karen Bernardi, Monica Diaz, Neil Weichel, and they did this for 240 days, they could do more than whatever they're doing now. Because they're not doing this for 240 days. So imagine if you were really efficient and you really knew your scripts and really knew what was going on. It would be absolutely amazing. So when I miss a day or I miss a scheduled time, I just move to the next one. That's why you can't just blow off a day. There's the key to this. Because you've only got 240 work days. Everybody with me?
Yeah.
And in the 240 work days, we've planned a little bit of fudge time. There's a little bit of time that says that we're not going to get this done. I get it. But if you don't do what you're supposed to do consistently over time, that's where you're going to run into a problem here. Because you're going to have times where the battery is going to not work. You're going to have times where the kids need to go to the doctor. You're going to have times where the tire is flat on the car. You're going to have times where you're just too sick to get out of bed. I get it. But that has to be the exception, not the rule. You with me? That's why you have to work on the days you don't want to. Only 240 of them, but that's why you have to work on the days you don't want to, because there's going to be days where you, through no control of your own, you're going to run into something you can't do. It's all about consistency. Questions? Good questions out there. Sorry, yes?
How do you create boundaries of sticking with the schedule for clients and other agents, stuff like that?
So the question is, how do you create the boundaries? I don't mean to be off the cuff, flippant, but we allow most of our interruptions. Did you hear what I just said? Yes. We allow most of our interruptions. In my family, for 25 years, no one would ever expect me to stop at the cleaners at 2 in the afternoon to pick up the cleaning. It's not expected, not acceptable. I have a job. I don't go to the cleaners in the afternoon. Now, if somebody's sick in the family, I need to take somebody to the doctor. That happens occasionally. But I am the last person they call to take people to the doctor. I will do that. Are you the first person they call? See, they think you don't have a job. I don't mean to pick on you. But your families don't think you work for a living. Or not a real job where you get a real paycheck. Get it? Because see, if you get a real paycheck, no one would ever expect you to take off at 2 in the afternoon to pick the cleaning up or get a quart of milk or take, Aunt Susie to the dentist or the podiatrist. But our families do. We allow it. We allow it. You have to stop. Same thing goes with prospecting. If you're prospecting, you're out here doing what you're supposed to be doing, and somebody else is hanging around, and the first thing they want to know is, well, where are we going to lunch? What are we going to have today? And you're trying to focus on your prospecting. We'll back up a little bit. That's why this office and you is such a desirable place to be, because that doesn't happen very often. What's for lunch is, what Subway sandwiches are we bringing in on Blitz Day? Woohoo! That's what happens. In other offices, those of you that have been in other offices, and a lot of you have, what happens is if you're prospecting, somebody else is kind of looking down at you, aren't they? That happen? Come on.
Yes.
Sure. If you're trying to role play and you're trying to do the scripts and dialogues, it's not with 20, 30 people on a regular basis. It's with 1 or 2, and they're all they went to a Mike Ferry seminar. They'll get over it. All last week they were at a Mike Ferry seminar, but they'll get over it. You know what I'm talking about. We have to create the discipline. We have to put ourselves in an environment that helps us to do that. Every day, every week, every month. A couple more questions and then, yeah.
Okay, this is my biggest issue. And I realize I'm a driver. I cannot start working. What do I do to stop the day? That's so hard for me.
Great question. So the question is, okay, I just want to keep going. I just want to continue the day, so I end up burning myself out. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. There's always something to do. By the way, is there always something more we could do? Yes or no?
Yes.
Always. Always. I can find stuff to do. I could never go home. Well, I happen to like going home, so I'm not going to do that. My suggestion to you is to shorten your day. Make your day cut off at a certain time. See, we will contract and expand our time based on the amount of time that we have. So what we have to do is, and maybe you have to do this artificially, is you have to say that at 5 o'clock you have to walk out the door and do a different activity, and maybe create an accountability to that. Where some of us create accountability to prospect, maybe you need to create accountability to be out of the office and go to the library and read a leisure book. I know when, just as a quick side note, when I met my wife, I was reading nothing but self-help books. Nothing but self-help books. And she thought I go on vacation, I read a self-help book. I was laying in bed going to sleep, and I'm reading a self-help book. I mean, it's like, it was nuts. And what she did was she put a couple of good crime books in front of me and said, just try this. You know, and some of those writers, they catch you in the first page. They catch you in the first page. Now, some of them takes you like a third of the book. Okay, but some of these writers, like Nelson DeMille and Patterson and Grisham's not one of mine, but Grisham's another one. There's another one, Stuart Woods. Stuart Woods is a great writer. In the first page or two, Harlan Coben, another one. First page or two, they own you. And I'm in. And that's, and I'll just read, for a couple of hours. So maybe that will help, all right? I used to work 7 days a week, 15, 18 hours a day. I thought that was the way to get rich. I thought that was the way to make money. I thought that was the way to take care of my family. I'm here to tell you that the minute I stopped working Sundays, and then I moved from Sunday to Saturday afternoons. So I had Saturday afternoon and Sunday off. Now this goes back 15, 18 years. That's when I started making money. When I started taking a little bit of time off and sharpening the axe. Sharpening the axe, because you have to be ready. You've got to be set for this. That's when it all started to take off for me. Try that, Stephanie.
Yeah, what I found is kind of the driver idea is that if you do end up staying past your leave time and you find stuff to do or you have stuff to do, what happens is you end up trying to make up that time somewhere else when you push your schedule out so that you're behind the 8 ball for
Right.
the next day.
It's
either you don't get sleep, you don't get to the gym,
Right.
and then everything in this whole thing is pushed out. You
I-
can't live up to it.
Yeah, I agree. Valerie Cano? Valerie, yeah. She leaves the office at 3 o'clock. She leaves the office at 3 o'clock. She does 130 transactions a year. She leaves the office at 3 o'clock. Just try it. Look, here's the thing. I'm gonna end on this note. You've been doing it your way for this period of time, right? Say yes.
Yes.
Let's try it this way for the next 90 days. For the next 90 days, let's try it this way. Let's have an end time. Let's have a beginning time. Let's do what we're supposed to do during that time. When we're off, we're off. When we're on, we're on. And at the end of 90 days, let's all gather back here and we'll see what happened. What do you think? All right?
Yes.
All right, let's go. Thank you all very much.